Hello friends, welcome to our new session, 11th Commerce, Chapter 6, Joint Stock Company. The relationship between outsiders and the company is defined in prospectus. Table A of the Companies Act is a model of AOA. AOA means Articles of Association. Which of the following is created by a special act of parliament or in state assembly? Statutory company. The board of director of a company is elected by shareholders. Companies established as a result of a charter granted by king or queen of a country is called chartered company. So charter claims means chartered company which is sent by king or queen. Next, very short answer. What are the different types of companies? This chapter is very important because so many questions are asked in quarterly, half-yearly, and revision paper. What are the different types of companies? The basis of incorporation: chartered company, statutory company, association, not for profit. Basis of membership: private company, public company. On the basis of member liability: company limited by share, company limited by guarantee, unlimited company. On the basis of control: government company, holding company, subsidiary companies. On the basis of nationality: domestic companies, foreign companies, multinational companies. So these are the headings of different types of companies. Now, what is define company? Define company. A company is an artificial person created by law having a separate entity with a perpetual succession and a common seal under Section 2 of Companies Act 2013. So, as per the law, rules and regulation will be followed in company. Perpetual succession means members may come and members may go, but company will go on forever. Common seal means seal of a company shows that this shares belongs to the particular company. Next one, what is meant by limited liability? Liability means expense. The liability of the members of a company is limited to contribution to the assets of the company up to the face value of shares held by him. A member is liable to pay only the uncalled money due on shares held by him. It means you purchase the shares. For example, you purchase 50,000 rupees of shares and you paid 30,000 rupees of shares. So balance 20,000 if you paid, then there is no liabilities for you afterwards. So once you paid the full amount of shares, no need to pay any other amount. That is known as limited liability. Next one, explain any two characteristics of company or features. Characteristics or features both are same of a company. Separate legal entity. Under incorporation, a company becomes separate legal entity as compared to its members. The company is distinct and different from its members. It is considered as an artificial person created by law. Limited liability. Just now we stated the limited liability. The liability of the members of the company is limited to contribution to the assets of the company up to the face value of shares held by him. A member is liable to pay only the uncalled money due on shares held by him. So balance due, if he paid, then there is no more liability. What is meant by chartered company? This question asked in the quarterly as well as in the half-yearly. That's why it's put 2 stars. Chartered companies are established by king or queen of a country. Powers and privileges of chartered company are specified in the charter. Power to cancel the charter is vested with king or queen. So in the hands of king or queen, all the powers are in the hands of king and queen. So that is known as chartered company. Now move on to short answer. What are the advantages of companies? Large capital. A company can secure large capital compared to a sole trader or partnership. Large amount of capital is necessary for conducting business on a large scale. Second point, limited liability. The liability of shareholder is limited. In case of a company limited by guarantee, his liability is restricted to the amount that he has guaranteed to contribute in the event of winding up. Winding up means closing of business of the company. Last point, transferability of shares. Transaction of shares between two individuals is easy. So there is liquidity of investment. Any shareholder can easily convert his shares into money by selling his shares. So you can sell your shares to any third party or any other person if you want money. Next one, what is meant by private company? It is a type of company which is formed with minimum two shareholders and two directors. Two shareholders and two directors, you can start a company. The minimum requirement with respect to paid up capital of rupees 1 lakh. Maximum of 200% can become shareholder in private company. The name of private company should be suffixed with private limited or P limited. Scientific Publishing Services Private Limited, comma Chennai. So private limited company, minimum two shareholders, two directors, minimum 1 lakh rupees you have to start the business, maximum 200% can become members of a private company. And you should end with the word private limited. What is government company? A public enterprises incorporated under the Indian Companies Act 1956 is called government company. These companies are owned and managed by the central or state government. Under Section 616 of the Companies Act 1956 defines government company as any company in which not less than 51% of the paid up share capital is held by the central government or to any state government or governments or partly by central government and partly by one or more state governments. So more than 51% shares is held by the government company. It's known as government company. Now very important and very easy question. What is meant by foreign company? A foreign company means a company which is incorporated in a country outside India under the law of that country. After the establishment of business in India, the following documents must be filed with registrar of companies within 30 days from the date of establishment. Establishment means starting. So after starting company, what are the documents you have to submit? A certified copy of the charter or statute means rules and regulation under which the company is incorporated, or the memorandum and articles of the company translated into English, the full address of the registered office of the company, list of directors and secretary of the company, the name and address of any person resident of India who is authorized to accept on behalf of the company service of legal process and any notice served on the company, the full address of the company, and the principal place of business in India. So, full registered office address, rules and regulation of company, name of the directors, name of the secretary, address of the company, everything must be submitted to the registrar office. Next, very important question. What are the contents in Memorandum of Association? This question asked in the March 2020 paper as well as in the half yearly exam. Name clause. The name clause requires to state the legal and recognized name of the company. The company name is allowed to be registered if it does not bear any similarities with the name of an existing company. Situation clause. The registered office clause requires to show the physical location of the registered office of the company. It is required to keep all the company registers in this office. Next one, objective clause. It is required to state the ancillary objectives, those objectives that are required to facilitate the achievement of the main objectives. It should be free of any provisions or declaration that contravene law or public good. Next one, liability clause. Liability clause, it requires to state the extent to which shareholders of the company are liable to the debt obligation of the company. There are companies limited by shares and limited by guarantee. Capital clause. The capital clause requires to state the company's authorized share capital, the different categories of shares, and the nominal value of the shares. It is also required to list the company's assets under this clause. So, name clause means name of the company, object means what are the objectives of the company, liability clause means how much you are liable to pay, capital clause means how much amount the company has been registered. Next one, what are the contents of articles of association? This question asked in the quarterly affiliate in the both the exam. Very important question, both memorandum and articles. Amount of shares, capital, value and types of shares. Rules regarding issue of shares and debentures. Manner of transfer of shares. Declaration of dividends. Borrowing powers of the company. Procedures concerning keeping of books and audits. Seal of the company. Procedures regarding the winding up of the company. Everything will be mentioned in the Articles of Association. Articles of Association means internal rules and regulation of company. Now, what do you mean or what is meant by prospectus? Prospectus is nothing but application form to purchase the share of a company. Now, see here the meaning. According to Section 2 of 36 of the Companies Act, any document inviting the public to buy its shares or debentures comes under the definition of prospectus. It also applies to advertisements inviting deposit from the public. Contents: the name, address, the name, addresses, and occupation of directors and managing directors, the number and classes of shares and debentures issued, the qualification share of directors and the interest of directors for the promotion of a company, particulars about the directors, secretaries, and the treasurers, and the remuneration. Remuneration means salary. The amount for the minimum subscription means how much minimum amount you have to there for purchasing the shares. If the company carrying on business, the length of time of such businesses, the estimated amount of preliminary expenses, name and address of the auditors, bankers and solicitors of the company. Everything must be mentioned in the prospectus. Next one, what do you mean or what is meant by multinational companies? A multinational company, MNC, is a huge industrial organization which operates in more than one country, carry out production, marketing, and research activities on an international scale in those countries, seeks to maximize profit world over. Examples: Microsoft Corporation, Nokia Corporation, Nestle, Coca-Cola, International Business Machine, Pepsi Company, Sony Corporation are the example of multinational company. What is meant by holding and subsidiary companies? Holding company means, as per the section 2 of 87, subsidiary company or subsidiary in relation to any other company, that is to say, the holding company, means a company in which the holding company control the composition of the board of directors or exercise or controls more than one of the total share capital, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary companies, provided that such classes of holding companies as may be prescribed shall not have layers of subsidiaries beyond such numbers as may be prescribed. Subsidiary companies. Subsidiary companies or subsidiary in relation to any other company means a company in which the holding company control the composition of the board of directors or exercises or control more than one half of the total share capital, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary companies. So, up to this, our sixth chapter is completed.